Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Joe Fixit Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave Jocasta figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
6 figures in a wave. You're going to need all 6 figures to complete the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure. Quick look at the artwork on the side of the box. It is the same on the left and the right. And a quick frontal view. Alright, let's get this bad boy open and see what's what. Alright, here we go. The Bride of Ultron, aka Jocasta. Her bio on the back of the package reads, Jocasta's superhuman force fields and electromagnetic beams make her a valuable ally of the Avengers. Jocasta is packed in with the torso to complete the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure. Yes, her alias as the Bride of Ultron should in fact be taken literally, as she was literally the Bride of Ultron. I suppose robots need love too. There's some pretty disturbing images of Jocasta on the net. You nerds are weird, man. Jocasta first appeared in Avengers Volume 1, number 162 in August of 1977, and she was created by Jim Shooter and George Perez. We know that in Marvel Comics, Ultron was created by Hank Pym and not by Tony Stark like he was in the MCU. Jocasta was created by Ultron, again because Ultron wanted a bride, and what he did was try to siphon the personality or brain waves or brain patterns from Janet Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, and put them into Jocasta. But her being a sentient being and having her own personality, she eventually rejected that and was not with the evil plan and actually helped the Avengers defeat Ultron. That happened more than once, and she's made a lot of different appearances over the years. The most recent thing that I can think of, I talked about fairly recently when she was with Hank during the Mighty Avengers run. At this time, this was after the Skrull invasion, and Wasp was believed to be dead, and Hank was like really depressed, and it seemed like he was about to get into a relationship with Jocasta, and it was weird. Her powers and abilities include superhuman strength, stamina, speed. Obviously, she's a robot, so she's going to calculate and analyze data at a speed that's far greater than the average human. Again, she is sentient. She does have some human-like emotions. She can use a sort of holographic technology to appear in any human-like form, and oftentimes she will take the form of Janet Van Dyne. Interesting to note that this is our very first Jocasta across any line. So 3/4 inch, 6 inch, this is the very first time we have had her as an action figure. Not much going on here as far as the deco, just a couple different shades of silver. Her eyes are red. I think they did a really good job with the head sculpt. Another interesting tidbit is that they finally reused the old Moonstone buck. So this the older buck that we got with Rogue and Moonstone and some of the other stacked females. I think this fits her body type perfectly. It was smart to use this for her. I don't think they got her look 100% accurate from the comics. There should have been like some little rim around the wrist here and some rivets or like a rim down here around the leg as well. But they opted for just the plain look on the wrist and on the shins here. They did get this right. This is an actual separate piece. A garter belt, I guess. I don't know what's going on there. But everything else here looks pretty good. I've already heard the rumblings of people wanting to use this body to pop the Lalandra head on this body and finally make a full-on Lalandra. I think we'll get Lalandra at some point. And no, Lalandra has no real relation to the Avengers or to this character or anything like that. It's just that the deco is somewhat similar. But really, to make this cipher complete, we're going to need an all-new Ultron from Marvel Legends. I mean, we got a decent-looking Ultron from Marvel Select, which I'll break out if I still have him for some comparisons toward the end. But we're going to need an updated Hank Pym in his yellow jacket uniform. We did get one from Hasbro, but that figure is kind of outdated and real blocky and kind of awkward looking now. I'll break him out as well. Not much going on here as far as accessories. Out of the package, she had 2 fists attached. And then she was packed in with 2 hands that we mostly see utilized with magic-based characters. I'm not sure why they gave her these particular hand sculpts. I think that was just silly, but you know, I'll take the extra hands regardless. I suppose at this point, you've been collecting for some time. You got a bunch of different hands you can probably use and repaint or repurpose or use some different colored hands for like an energy effect for a display or what have you. But yeah, other than that, there are no additional accessories. You should be well aware of the articulation on this buck, but one thing to note note is that the head and neck articulation is hindered a bit because of these parts here. So you're going to get it to look left and right and pivot, but to look down is going to be an issue, and to look up is going to be an issue because it's hindered in the back by how this head sculpt is. Everything else is working fine. Shoulder articulation, upper bicep swivel, single jointed elbow about 90 degrees, swivel on that elbow, hinge and a swivel on the wrist. Good upper torso articulation, nothing at the waist, T-joint at the pelvis, leg will come up that far. There is an upper thigh swivel, there's a double jointed knee, and a hinge and a pivot on the foot. Alright, a few quick size comparisons here. On the far left is the Marvel Legends Giant Man from the movie Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. And at some point, Giant Man, Hank Pym, in this costume was running around with Jocasta, if I'm not mistaken. This is a figure that we probably should have got in like a deluxe box set that should have been larger. I mean, obviously, Giant Man, Ant-Man, he can expand on his size or reduce his size at will, but I think they kind of jerked us with a regular size figure here and should have given us something similar to maybe like the old yellow and blue Giant Man that we had got twice from Toy Biz, or once from Toy Biz and once from Hasbro. Something will be popping up here. And then Vision, who was obviously connected to Jocasta and to Ultron and Hank Pym as well. At one point, Jocasta was trying to get with Vision, and he kind of curved her actually because he was in a relationship with Scarlet Witch. But this is the vintage series Vision, which is a wonderful figure. And then right next to Jocasta on her left, going right, is Wasp, Janet Van Dyne from the same series as Giant Man on the left from that movie Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. And then a little blast from the past. This is the old Hasbro. I think this was the Brood series yellow jacket. There were two of these. I believe this one was the variant. The regular version was like a yellow color, and this one here, the variant, had like a gold color, which looked better. Now this had great articulation, but still some really awkward proportions. Come on, Hasbro, do the right thing. We need a redo of this figure and just put him on the Spider-Man 2099 buck and call it a day. Couple more. I left Vision up there. Some classic Avengers, 80th anniversary Captain America, 80th anniversary Iron Man there. And then on the far right, that was the Giant Man from the, I think it was from the SDCC box set, that Ant-Man box set that had like 4 or 5 different Giant Man, Ant-Man figures in there. But you can see this Bucky Cap mold is just old and outdated and needs to be phased out. He doesn't even look right standing beside the 80th anniversary Cap and Iron Man. And don't ask me what's going on here, but a couple of her wave mates, the Atmosphere, Armor, Iron Man on the left and Falcon on the right, both on A.C.B.A. flight stands. There's Iron Man upright and Captain America, Stealth Captain America from the same wave. And then finally, there's the Marvel Select Ultron, which is a 7-inch scale figure, so it's a little large for Marvel Legends. But hear me out, Hasbro. We need a classic Ultron just like this that comes as a single carded figure in a wave. He's got to be the double pack figure in the wave so we can army build them if necessary. Plenty of interchangeable hands, couple heads. Come on, go the distance. I think that we actually might get Ultron in that Bring On the Bad Guys wave that they want to put out and that they've teased already. And then on the right is the Walgreens exclusive Dark Ann or Black Ann. I forget what the actual name is here. But this is basically the same figure as the vintage series classic Ant-Man, which I do have, but I've never opened, and I've just been having him on ice for quite some time. So I'll open him soon when I get a real big classic Avengers portrait going. But he's there for size comparison because that's how the classic Ant-Man would look next to Jocasta. Alright, I've just been sitting here playing around with these for the past like 15 minutes and forgetting that I'm supposed to be ending the review. So I'm ending the review. Alright, so decent figure, nothing really to write home about. They definitely should have added in a few more accessories, but this is one that you definitely going to want to have because we're definitely going to get an Ultron soon. You definitely need to pick up this figure if you want to complete the Joe Fixit Hulk Build-A-Figure. And so overall, it's one that I would recommend. Alright, thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.